Now on CoastTV News.
Wind whale worry. The debate today in Ocean City over the impact of wind farms on fish and mammals living in the ocean. Biden's beach trip. While the president takes time off here along our coast, the issue for one of his main Republican opponents on the campaign trail.
Jackson, end zone, likely for the touchdown.
And Ravens roll to AFC title game, the big day of Baltimore that moves the Ravens one step closer to the Super Bowl.
Cold snap commotion. How long will this bitter cold last? I'll have the answer to that pressing question.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Matt Pensick, and welcome to CoastTV News at 11. And new tonight, we got pushback against the proposed wind farms off of our coast. Maryland's lone Republican in Congress, Representative Andy Harris, holding a public hearing in Ocean City today. This comes one day after the Dewey Beach Town Council decided to hold off on a vote to sign a community benefits agreement with U.S. Wind Incorporated. The hearing in Ocean City held at the Powell Convention Center. Now, there's been concern over recent whale deaths having a connection to wind farms. The National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration states there is no evidence that wind turbines are a cause in whale deaths.
But there is no evidence to deny the speculation, especially since NOAA is not conducting what's called a level B necropsy on the whales, which is what it would take to find out if there was, in fact, ear damage in the whales that would lead to subsequent vessel strikes or subsequent mortality.
Those areas are so vital that they are basically putting all of the offshore wind turbines in our offshore grounds where the fish are.
And on Friday, the Rehoboth Beach City Council also met to discuss a potential community benefits agreement with U.S. Wind. The deal, same as Dewey's, is worth over $2 million over 20 years. It aims to bring annual payments of $100,000 to the city for the creation of offshore wind farms. During the discussion, Mayor Stan Mills recommended deferring the decision until after the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management's final environmental impact statement and decision. That is expected later this year. Rehoboth Beach officials say this delays hopes to provide more time for council to understand the project's implications fully and address broader community concerns about offshore wind farms. Well, new tonight, a 36-year-old Millsboro man facing several felony charges. This after being arrested Friday in Rehoboth Beach. Kevin Clary was tracked down by troopers in a wooded area on Coastal Highway. And according to state police, a 38-year-old man was stabbed in the hand after Clary threatened to kill him and demand money. This is at the Wendy's on Coastal Highway. Clary is facing a total of 7 charges, including 4 felonies, 1 attempted robbery first degree and another assault first degree. Well, we have an update on a story that we've been covering this week. We now know the name of the man killed in a 4-car crash in Milford on Thursday. Delaware State Police say 78-year-old Larry Cox of Smyrna was killed. This happened after he hit another car and then got out of his car and began crossing the road towards the other driver. And that's when he was hit by oncoming traffic. And the car that hit him and was also struck. This all happened on southbound Bay Road early Thursday morning, and it closed that part of Route 1 for hours. Aftermath from the snowstorm. It was a busy Friday in Bridgeville, the volunteer fire company there. It started with work on this overturned car, and then later in the day, a tractor trailer hit this utility pole, with one of the poles appearing to have been damaged. No snow today, just cold temperatures as we check out this live scene in Dover. Our chief meteorologist, Paul Williams, joins us with a look at First Alert weather. Good evening, Paul.
Almost okay. It's okay, Matt. It's okay, Matthew. This is the evening shift, Matt. But you know what? I know me and Bob look an awful lot alike, except Bob's actually a whole lot cuter than me. All right, let's take a look right now what's happening. Courtesy of our Seaford camera, we're at 21 degrees by the time we get to 1 o'clock in the morning. Then we'll drop to about 20 degrees. Now, bottom line is it's cold, staying that way, and tomorrow morning we're going to get much of the same. We're holding at 22 degrees in a lot of areas like Rehoboth, Lewis, Indian River Inlet, as well as Bethany, but we're down to 21 in places like Greenwood, Redden, Georgetown, as well as Seaford and in Delmar. Clouds and radar limited at this point. We'll see a mix of clouds here and there, but we're also concerned about the winds. I mean, we still have somewhat gusty winds for us. We have small craft advisories active and some gale wind concerns for us off of the shore from Lewis, Dewey Beach, Bottom Hills, Ocean View, Fenwick Island, down towards Ocean City. We're bracing for about 25-mile-per-hour winds, or even a little more than that. Here's a breakdown of what we're expecting tomorrow. We'll wake up to about 23 degrees, winds out of the northwest at about 15 miles per hour, so it's going to feel like 6 degrees. Still feeling like that at 8 o'clock and pretty much like that until 10 o'clock. By noon, we'll warm to 30 degrees, but the winds are still knifing at us out of the northwest up to 15 to 16 miles per hour. And if we're lucky, we'll warm to freezing, which is 32 degrees. But fear not, my friend, after another cold start next week, or rather later on next week, we're looking forward to warm up nicely, Matt.
All right, you got breaking news this Saturday night as the Ravens are going back to the AFC Championship game after a 34-10 win over the Texans at the stadium in Baltimore. It was another outstanding performance by MVP candidate Lamar Jackson. The grade 8 threw for 2 touchdowns, and he ran for 2. The Ravens will host the AFC Championship game next Sunday, and they will face the winner of tomorrow's Chiefs-Bills game. And we will have a report from Baltimore later on CoastTV News at 11. Tonight, President Biden continuing his visit to our coast. This afternoon, he attended Mass at St. Edmund's Catholic Church and then returned to his home in North Shores. The Bidens are scheduled to spend Sunday in Newcastle County before returning to the beach tomorrow night. While in Georgia, a top prosecutor who charged former President Trump is under fire. This is over allegations of an improper relationship with another prosecutor who she put on the case. Marissa Parra shows us the controversy brewing and how this could affect the case.
Fulton County's District Attorney Fani Willis, who's been leading the election interference case against former President Trump, now finding herself at the center of calls for an investigation amid questions of an alleged affair with Nathan Wade, one of the outside special prosecutors she hired for the case against Mr. Trump. One of Trump's co-defendants, Michael Roman, has been calling for his case to be dismissed entirely, claiming without direct evidence Willis and Wade have been in a, quote, improper clandestine personal relationship and profiting significantly at the expense of taxpayers. New court filings from Wade's estranged wife in their divorce case include credit card statements that she alleges show Wade paid for flights and cruises to remote locations for him and Willis. Fulton County Commissioner Republican Bob Ellis telling NBC News he will be pursuing a full investigation and finds the allegations grossly concerning, writing a letter to Willis questioning if she, quote, misused county funds and accepted valuable gifts and personal benefits from the man she hired. Trump last night raising similar questions.
How bad is that, paying a guy almost $1 million who had zero experience, but it's her boyfriend, and then they traveled all over the world. Norwegian Cruise Lines. Oh, isn't that nice? I'd like to do that. I just don't have time.
At a church service last Sunday, Willis suggesting race is behind growing controversy surrounding her and Wade.
I'm just asking God, is it that some will never see a black man as qualified, no matter his achievements?
But her comments from a 2020 campaign appearance are now being used by Willis's opponents.
I certainly will not be choosing people to date that work under me.
That was NBC's Marissa Parra reporting. And we are just getting started. Coming up, defying genetic disorder odds, the team of doctors working on curing children of a deadly disease. Also, after Larry Hogan's choice in the Republican field, Chris Christie dropped out, the hints the former Maryland governor is making about jumping into the race for the White House. But first, it wasn't all snow and cold this week. We'll take a look at this week's top stories. We'll be back in just 60 seconds.
At Atlantic General Hospital, we've been busy. Busy expanding healthcare services that are second to none in our region. From cancer care, women's health services, to orthopedics, gastroenterology, and more, we provide advanced health technologies delivered by top providers. Expert care every day. It's what you can count on from Atlantic General Hospital.
When you visit the Delmarva Design Center, you'll experience a selection of appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring all together in one showroom. The 10,000 square foot location has a variety of inspiring samples for any project size or budget. Your dedicated product experts and designers collaborate to bring your dream project to life. Come and see what the kitchen industry buzz is all about. Experience the Delmarva Design Center in Selbyville, Delaware, serving all of Delmarva's coast.
Seemed like snow dominated our whole week, but that wasn't all that happened on Delmarva. Madeline Overturf has a look at our week in review.
Monday, the weather along the coast turned stormy and cold. The front end of a week of wicked, frigid temperatures from Mother Nature, impacting everything from roads to schools, even to health. Tuesday, we took a look at House Bill 285. It hasn't been voted on yet, but if it passes, it would make it easier to get a medical marijuana card. Right now, you need a debilitating medical condition. Under the new bill, doctors could prescribe the drug, and anyone 65 and older could decide for themselves. Wednesday, a scary moment at Cape Henlopen High School where a gun was found in a student's backpack. Once school officials were informed, they investigated, found the student and the gun. The student was arrested. On Thursday, pot pushed its way back into the news, this time recreational sales. We covered Georgetown, where the smoke seems to be blowing in a new direction. The town's planning commission not recommending an ordinance that would make way for the business of bud in town limits. Friday, snow barreled back onto Delmarva. Almost all schools were closed due to the snow, with many coast towns getting well over 4 inches of snow. For your Week in Review, I'm Madeline Overturf.
And coming up on Coast TV News at 11, ferry figures flourish. Some positive reports on the Cape May Lewis Ferry and how recent travel compares to pre-pandemic levels.
So we're going to take a look at our forecast for today, and keep in mind, we're still recovering a day after that wonderful snow event. Now we're dealing with some ugly Arctic air.
A wet crawl space is a lurking hazard, inviting mold, rot, and structural worries. The answer is Brazier's Crawl Space Encapsulation. Our specialist tailors the solution to your exact crawl space. Our expert team cleans and upgrades your crawl space into a pristine, protected environment, and we only use April Air dehumidifiers, reliable and robust, complete with a 5-year warranty. Take the first step to a drier, safer home. Call Brazier's or visit our website. Your peace of mind is just one call away.
Sign up to grow your team at the 2024 Draper Media Job Fair, powered by Premier Staffing Solutions. Be a part of the best marketed and most successful job fair on Delmarva, according to past employers who participated. The Draper Media Job Fair is Saturday, February 24th from 10 to 2 in the Jason Building at Del Tech in Georgetown. Meet over 1,000 applicants looking for work. For more info, go to wbocevents.com.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with my Bionic Blade, the new handheld blender that's rechargeable, so you can make a fast, healthy shake anywhere. It has the motor and blades built right into the lid, so blend a shake at the gym, make pina coladas by poolside, or grind coffee beans for an iced cold brew on the go.
Get the Bionic Blade for just $29.99 with free shipping. You'll also get 2 sipping lids, a second container, and the sports lid. Get it all for just $29.99. Order now.
At Coast Country, we're more than just music. We're a part of Delmarva's heart. Every month, Coast Country Cares, together with Spicer Brothers, steps up to serve our community. We're here helping local organizations and supporting our neighbors all year round. Join us in making a difference. Stay tuned to learn where we'll be next, or visit coastcountry.com to see how you can be a part of our mission. Coast Country Cares, brought to you by Spicer Brothers, because we are Delmarva proud.
We're looking forward to stay really cold, really uncomfortable for tomorrow morning as well. Right now, we take a look courtesy of our Boardwalk Plaza camera. In Rehoboth Beach, we're holding at about 22 degrees, but it feels like about 19, 18. But the winds have died down a bit. That's at least a little bit helpful. We're going to stay in the low 20s for the rest of the night with partly cloudy skies. But the problem is we're combining that with the winds. I mean, look, we have a small craft advisory, and usually we're just concerned about, those boaters on this one. But because this is close to the coast and it's breezy and it's cold, both of that, that makes a combination for it to stay very chilly for us along the entire corridor. Now, this is also inclusive of places like, for example, the Chesapeake Bay area. We're looking for about 35 to 40 mile per hour winds there, and from Ocean City all the way down towards Chincoteague. So those swirling winds not helping much, and they're going to really pick up tomorrow, making it even more miserable. I'm sorry, but we do straight talk here. So I'm just letting you know tomorrow morning is going to be just as cold as it was this morning. We're holding in the low 20s right now, 20 degrees, by the way, right now in Greenwood. That's the cold spot. We're about 6 degrees to 9 degrees colder than we were just 24 hours ago. And here's what it feels like. We're already feeling like 6 degrees in Indian River Inlet, and in Greenwood, we feel like 6 degrees. We have a wind chill of 8 in Milford, and it feels like 11 in Lewis. Now, let's add to that why. Well, look, the winds are pushing out of the northwest at about 21 to 22 miles per hour. So that's what's adding to the misery. And tomorrow, it's not getting any better. I mean, we're looking at 30 to 31 to 32 mile per hour winds still out of the northwest. Direction is a big deal. It's kind of like context when you're talking. Sunday morning, we start off at 20 to 19 degrees in the morning time. By the afternoon, near 30 if we're lucky. Monday, we start off at 17, 16, 18, 19 degrees. And perhaps we'll get a chance to warm it to the upper 30s by then. We're going to slowly thaw out by next week, but it's going to take a little while. Right now, we're concerned initially with Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Hard freeze on all 3 of these days. And then there's the wind chill factor, because we usually walk around with an insulation of air for us to help 20 degrees just feel like 20 degrees. Here's the problem. With those winds coming out of the northwest at about 20 miles per hour, look at how that changes it. Instead of feeling like 20 degrees, where it should be, it has no business feeling like 4 degrees, but because of the winds, it helps to speed up the heat loss, making it feel that much colder. So that's why this is what we'll wake up to tomorrow morning. 5, 6 degrees. Matt is in the background laughing right now. It's not funny. All right, anyway, we're looking at teens for the afternoon, but you just got to smile through it. And then by the time we get warm, let's say Thursday and Friday, we're looking for rain to just, a deluge of downpours. So tonight we'll have Arctic air issues going into tomorrow morning, 32 for the high. Then on Monday, we slowly start to thaw out. And I mean very slowly. But here's the good news. We'll peak at 60 degrees Thursday and Friday, although that will be with, cloudy skies and rain.
Yeah, of course, Paul. All right, thanks for that. Rain and freezing. All right, for more weather updates, make sure to pull out your phone, scan that QR code that we're showing you there for our First Alert Weather app, and you can download the app for free to get all the weather updates you need. Well, the Cape May Lewis Ferry says numbers are up, way up. The number of people who drove their cars over 276,000 was the highest since 2010. And compared to pre-pandemic numbers, the Cape May Lewis Ferry said it had a 2% increase of passengers and 21% increase in food and retail revenue. Well, new tonight, former Maryland Governor, that is, Larry Hogan, says he still sees a, quote, crack in the door for a potential political run. Hogan shared that quote on his Facebook page, citing an interview he did with the Hill publication. The Republican wrote that he is not interested in being a spoiler, but also not ruling it out. After the break on CoastTV News at 11, defying genetic disorder odds, the team of doctors working on curing children of a deadly disease, and taking care of the Texans. We have a report from our Delmarva Sports Network crew in Baltimore on the Ravens' playoff win. That's up next on CoastTV News at 11.
The doctors of Delmarva Chiropractic take great pride in offering the finest, most individualized care to their patients and stay on the cutting edge of healthcare and clinical interventions. As winners of Coastal Style and Metropolitan Magazine's Best Chiropractors for 7 years in a row, Doctors Lane, Brown, and Taylor help with conditions such as back pain, sciatica, headaches, concussions, dizziness, and much more. The clinic also offers laser therapy, decompression, acupuncture, and custom orthotics. Call Delmarva Chiropractic today and take the first step toward achieving your maximum potential.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
It's been a tough year, but we couldn't be more thankful.
With your help, we've raised more than $300,000 for Bless Our Children.
Hi, I'm Elisa Titus with Shell Brothers, and we would like to give an extra special thank you to all the businesses, groups, organizations, and individuals who stepped up to the Shell Brothers Challenge and donated $1,000 or more to the Draper Media's Bless Our Children campaign.
Your generosity allowed us to give holiday funds to local charitable organizations on Delmarva. You can feel proud that you helped make the season brighter for many local families on Delmarva.
On behalf of Draper Media and Shell Brothers, a heartfelt thank you to you all.
Bless Our Children is administered by the Draper Holdings Charitable Foundation.
Get live radar and severe weather alerts. Download the free CoastTV First Alert Weather app. Brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
One step closer to the Super Bowl, the Ravens are moving on to the AFC title game for the first time in 12 years. The Delmarva Sports Network's Tim Nolan breaks down the win from M&T Bank Stadium.
Yeah, the AFC North champions will be playing one more game on this field this January after the Ravens took care of the Texans 34-10 in the AFC divisional round tonight. Now, Lamar Jackson got the third quarter started with a rushing touchdown. It was the first of two scores with his legs. He also hit Isaiah Likely with a passing touchdown in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, that Ravens defense, well, they held the Texans to just 68 yards total the entire second half. Baltimore now advances to the franchise's first AFC title game since 2012, and the only Raven remaining from that team, Justin Tucker, well, the kicker was a rookie back then. Looking now at what the Baltimore Ravens have ahead of them, he says he does not take the moment for granted, and he says it's because of everybody in the room.
I think what makes the experience the most special is the people involved along the way. What I think of is the journey that we've all been on, especially this season. There have been a lot of things going right for us, not a lot going wrong, but this team just has shown an ability to be consistent. And I think if we can continue that, we're going to give ourselves a really good chance to accomplish everything that we set out to from the moment we all came together in April and May all the way through training camp. It's a special time.
Fittingly, it was Tucker who started the scoring with a 53-yard field goal and ended it after this Lamar Jackson TD to give the Ravens a 34-10 final. Head coach John Harbaugh is also returning to championship weekend with the flock. He praised the fans and the team for stepping on the gas in the second.
I thought our fans were incredible, man. It was deafening out there. So credit to our fans, first of all. Coaches and players, I thought, did a great job. Second half adjustments were really strong. And Lamar just played out of his mind along with our defense. Everybody did. So proud of our guys. It's the first step. The next step is in front of us. We'll find out who we play after tomorrow, and we're looking forward to it.
The Ravens are now set to face the winner of either the Chiefs or the Bills. That game kicking off tomorrow night at 6:30. And then next weekend, Baltimore plays an AFC title game here in the Charm City for the first time ever as a franchise. Reporting from Baltimore, Tim Nolan, DSN.
Well, genetic disorders, they cause an abnormality in a child's DNA. 10 out of every 100 babies will be diagnosed with one. In fact, 17% of couples are at high risk of transmitting a genetic disorder to their child. And Marty Salt shows us how a team of doctors saved one young child, curing him from his near-deadly disease.
Nap time ended much too soon for little Miller Gambari. Mom Garen doesn't mind, though. She's just happy to have her little boy home.
He was perfectly healthy, never been sick or anything until he was about 6 months old.
That's when Miller stopped eating.
He didn't want to drink his bottles. He didn't want to eat purees.
And then his oxygen levels dropped. Miller was diagnosed with pneumonia. Follow-up tests revealed Miller had a fungal lung infection that attacks people with weakened immune systems.
We had no idea what was going to happen.
Doctors at Children's Hospital New Orleans needed to find out why his immune system was weak. DNA sequencing and immunological tests revealed Miller had a rare genetic disorder called MHC Class II deficiency.
He has a specific genetic defect that doesn't allow his T cells to function appropriately,
making him prone to infections. Miller needed a bone marrow transplant.
He needed to receive actually chemotherapy prior to, so that all of those other cells could be killed and the garden could be quote unquote emptied, so that there was room for the new stem cells to come and grow.
They found a bone marrow match, but Miller caught COVID while in the hospital and the transplant didn't take. Miraculously, the same donor agreed to donate bone marrow a second time.
He actually responded really well to the second infusion of stem cells and has had great counts ever since.
Now, Miller could soon be completely cured. I'm Marty Salt reporting.
Here he comes.
Well, after the break here on Coast TV News at 11, Taylor and the Bills Mafia. Buffalo ready to welcome Swift, her boyfriend, and the Chiefs for Sunday's game. Coast TV News at 11 continues in just a few moments.
Coverage on the road, in your community, along the coast. The IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep, live on the street, day or night. From breaking news to weather in your town. The IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep, coverage you can count on.
Are you having one of those days where everything that can go wrong does? Meet Preston, a normal guy with extraordinary bad luck. This is where the law office trap nickel steps in. We've got your back, even when you fall on it. Our skilled personal injury team is committed to defending your rights and converting adversity into significant compensation. Don't hesitate. Get the justice you deserve. The Law Office of Trap Nickel, your priority is our priority.
Intruders are more likely to target homes with dark zones. Take the bullseye off your house and turn on Bionic Spotlight Extreme 360, the motion-activated home defense light that looks just like a high-tech security camera. It detects even the slightest motion and automatically triggers 6 ultra-bright LED high beams. During the day, it's disguised as a high-tech security camera. It's completely wireless and installs in just seconds. Powered by solar panels, no batteries needed. It adjusts a full 360 degrees. Call or go online and order your Bionic Extreme 360 for just $19.99. But wait, we can also include a second one. Just pay a separate fee. Plus, we'll give you free shipping on your entire order.
To order, call 1-800-316-1548 or go online to buybionic360.com. So call 1-800-316-1548 or go to buybionic360.com.
When I think about what the Today Show does, it's not just about the mornings, it's about your whole day. There's a feeling of we're in there with you. Then let's take on this day together.
Bills fans attending Sunday's game against the Chiefs may want to leave a blank space in their stomachs. The Bills and the team's food service partner at the stadium, Delaware North, have unveiled new specialty items for the divisional round matchup. Couple of items inspired by the Chiefs' most famous new fan, Taylor Swift, and some of her greatest hits. And these include the Bad Blood waffle fries and the Karma quesadilla. Taylor Swift food.
Yeah, well, they make a vegan version. I'm in. There we go. All right. Courtesy of our Gateway Subaru camera in Ocean City, we're holding at 22 degrees, but the wind's out of the northwest at 20 miles per hour. So this 22 feels like about 9 or worse. Still very breezy. You can see how the waters are lapping up along the shore right now, so it's very breezy. We have the small craft advisory that is in effect along the shore, bracing for about 25 mile per hour winds at the very least. Gale wind warnings also in effect for us because we're looking at about 45 mile per hour winds as you go from, let's say, Ocean Pines down towards Chincoteague and all the way around towards Exmoor and over into the Chesapeake Bay area. Here's a look at your exclusive Paul Davis Restoration 10-day forecast. It's cold for tomorrow, bottom line, plain and simple, and breezy. Monday, not much better, but just a little bit better. But by the time we get to Thursday and Friday, it warms into the 60s. But we'll also have some serious downpours by then.
All right, thanks, Paul, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, go ahead and download our Coast TV News app. Saturday Night Live starts right now. Have a great night, everybody.